Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. Well, we are gathered here today to witness something I have never attempted to do before. As many of you know, on this channel, I try to primarily highlight the things that I love the most, but occasionally I will spend hours, and I mean hours, talking about the things that I absolutely despise. If you're curious about any of the images, the horrifying images that you now see on the screen, you can check out my seasonal anime reviews. Oh God. But you know, this is a new era. This is Yumie 2.0. We gotta be brave, trying new, adventures, embarking on brand new frontiers. And so that's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing today. To keep myself honest and relatively concise, as many of you have very astutely been saying, today we are going to try a particular challenge for me. That is what we are gathered here today to do, to see if I am capable of talking about the things that really make me angry in an amount of time that is somewhat more reasonable than multiple hours. If you still want to listen to me rant for many, many hours, oh boy, I got so much of that on the channel. But today we are going to try to be relatively concise. And you all who are watching along at home, you all get to help. Yes, that's right. If you're watching this video right now, you get to help. So here is how this is going to work. So rule number 1. Every 10 minutes, I must consume a sour candy as an incentive to get through each property as quickly as possible. Because then I won't have to eat more sour candies. This is where you all get to assist. I will have a timer that is here in the bottom left corner. And when you see that it is rapidly approaching 10 minutes, you all get to remind me that I'm almost out of time. I have a whole bowl. I can... Oh geez, I don't know if that sounds any good on the microphone, but there's a bowl that is full of sour candies. But it's not just one type of sour candy. Are you all ready? There's a second rule. As my sour takes increase in severity. So as the things that I am saying are increasingly more hot takes, or in this case, sour takes, the sourness of the candy that I must consume will also increase. So the properties that I am the most passionate about, that I could talk for hours on, have the highest risk of just completely slaying me. There is a third rule just for my own sanity. The third rule for my own sanity and mouth is that I will be taking regular hydration breaks. And I can spit out particularly bad batches if it's really bad. There is one particular candy that I am eyeing in this bowl, which I do not know that I will be able to consume the whole thing. So I might be spitting that one out. I will mute myself, and I have a nice little trash can right next to me. Oh, let me turn the timer off. It's not ready. We're not doing that part yet. So here's how this is gonna work. We will start a section. I will have a sour candy. You all will witness me trying to keep my shit together, and then we will start talking about that with relatively little time to spare. No, Yumie is bringing 30 topics so she can do the same 5-hour stream as always. Oh God. No, I've actually been good. Okay. You all aren't gonna believe this, but I only have 5 topics I'm talking about today. And even that is like, oh boy. that might be too much. Oh God. But yeah, I think this will be great. And yes, no, it is also a great excuse to show off all of the expressions that I can make with this new model. It's a win-win for all of you wonderful people watching at home. Okay. Oh God. All right, let's get started. Sourness, 1 out of 5. I'm opening up the first thing. These are sour gummy worms, so this is really not a sour take. So no worries too much. Let me real quick. Oh God. Okay. All right. Okay, that's not too bad. See, this is okay. This is lulling me into a sense of complacency. Okay. Let me finish eating this, and then we'll go. Yeah. All right, that's getting a little sour. That's not terrible. Oh yes, thank you to my lovely husband who came up with this entire concept. Taste tested everything ahead of time to make sure that it would not slay me, and came up with the rating scale for the sourness of everything. God damn it. Okay. Ugh. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay. So apocalyptic superheroes. This is my sour take. I cannot take these properties seriously. There's a very good reason for this. So there are some like superhero movies or anime where they live in a world that has some problems, but like it's not like apocalyptic all the time, right? I can take those ones seriously, but shit like Man of Steel or Kaiju number 8, like the second that you like take a moment and think about how many like earth-shattering things are happening all the time. In Man of Steel, they're always like, oh my God, it's not just that. It's like a bunch of the Avengers films are like this too. They're like smashing through buildings regularly. Aliens are blowing shit up. Like, how does anyone survive in this society? Society would just collapse. I'm sorry. That's not how anything works. Kaiju number 8 is out here being like, oh yeah, no. All of the kaiju are just like, it's a regular thing. So we have a whole squad of people that will go and take care of the kaiju. But also we have this whole group of people who clean up the kaiju corpses afterwards. Isn't that cool? We have like adjusted as a society. And no, you haven't. No, you haven't. Do you know how expensive natural disasters are? I'm sorry. That's not how anything works. No. The second that one kaiju like levels portions of a city, you're donezo. If this is a regular occurrence, society does not rebuild. I'm sorry, you have a portion of people that are like cleaning up the kaiju corpses, but like, what about all the poor people who have to rebuild the buildings? Are they getting like enough time to do that? No, because then another goddamn kaiju shows up. Like a week later, it's just, you're done. This society cannot function like this. I just... It cannot be like this. And you know, I think that's exactly the logic. Okay, no, for real. I know that that is why they're doing it, right? Like, that's why they're having like, whoa, isn't that so cool? Look at that kaiju just punched that building. Look at that Man of Steel. He just, bam, did like lasers all over the place. Who cares about all the people whose apartments got burned? All the people whose places of work, whose areas where they were able to obtain food are now gone? Nuh-uh, it's fine. We don't care about their insurance premiums. We don't care about like them having to contact their local representatives to try and get shit covered. What are we doing? What are we doing here? This is ridiculous. I just cannot take this shit seriously. I know that these are very popular properties, but like episode 1 of Kaiju, I just watched and I'm like, no, society is just grinding to a complete halt. I can't. I don't care how cool it is that you can punch a kaiju. Society is over. It's donezo. There's... There's nothing that you could do about it. Absolutely nothing that you could do about it. So yeah, any superhero property, whether it is like the Avengers. Oh my God, don't get me started on the Avengers. So like the Avengers are very fun movies, right? But like, okay, the OG Avengers, when I first watched that, I just kept thinking like, how do you recover from something like this? How do you recover from something like this? Because so much of New York is just destroyed in that film. And then they're like, yeah, and then it was fine. And then we beat the aliens and then we like moved on. I'm like, no, you didn't move on. No one moved on. Not a single person. And I know that that's like sort of something that's brought up in future films where they're like, oh, what about the everyman? Oh, what about them? And I'm like, what about the every city? How many people died for your stupid superhero bullshit? This is ridiculous. Like anything where you involve like large populations of people with their houses, their livelihoods being destroyed just so that a superhero can go big paunch? Nuh-uh. Like I feel like this has just become a problem with so many of these films and TV shows where you just have like all of these really cool people and they're punching people into buildings. And I'm just over here being like, oh God, someone's got to pay for that building. Someone has to rebuild that shit. You just like ruined someone's month, years, plural. They now have to like take care of all of that shit. Think about like, what if, you know, they had like a bunch of very important things to them inside there. You can't get that shit back. Natural disasters are a big deal, you know? Like this, I don't know. I feel like maybe superhero films should stop focusing on like destroying cities because they're like a big spectacle and maybe like go and have battles somewhere else because I'm real tired of thinking about all the poor people who have lost everything because of your stupid battle. Also the kaijus, I'm sorry. This is like the Pacific Rim thing too. Like, how does society continue? You're like, oh yeah, no, we adapted and we built these like mecha super powered people things, and then they go and they punch the kaiju really hard, and I'm like, what? How did you have the time for that? How did you have the resources? It's a goddamn kaiju. What were you doing before? Just waiting for it to tire itself out and then keel over and die? I don't know. I feel like I'm never going to be given a satisfying answer for that, so. Yes, exactly. Oh my God. Think of the cabbages. Think of the cabbages. They're just getting destroyed constantly. Oh God, yes, no, that is so true. Oh my God, and the kaiju is just out here destroying buildings and mechs, and you have a little soldier going pew, 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 and you're like, that ain't gonna do shit against a kaiju. I'm sorry. That's not how anything works. Yes, your gun is very cool, but... So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that my suspension of disbelief is broken in these particular types of properties. I have a very difficult time taking them seriously because I am just thinking way too hard about all the poor people whose shit has just been destroyed. And about how, like, you can only do that a certain number of times before you run out of money to rebuild everything. But they're like, no, it's fine. We got infinite money. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't, and I cannot take your shit seriously. Oh my God. I've done it. I got through this one in 6 minutes and like 48 seconds. Oh my God. Wait, no, that's bad. That means we have to move to the next one. Oh no. Oh no. I see now why this is bad. Okay. Well, it means I didn't have to have another one. Okay. Forgive me for this next one. Bear with me, okay? I'm going to have to eat this thing first, and then I will talk about this, so please bear with me. Hold your pitchforks ready, but don't, no stabbing with them just yet. Okay. Next one. Okay, the next thing that we're going to be... going for is this very sour lemon candy. Let me consume this real quick. I promise this take will be worth your time. All right. Oh God. Okay. Everyone is staring intently. Thank you for holding your pitchforks. Hold on. I think you all will agree with me by the end, probably, maybe. Ugh. Oh, God. Oh, this one is a lot more sour than the last one. Dear God. I hope I can get through this in 10 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, all right. Sorry, I had to lean to the side there. I had to reach for my water. Okay. Oh my gosh, my eye. Oh my gosh, I'm like tearing up. Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me have another drink of water. Oh my gosh, that one is like, it's sour a little bit on the outside, but it's got this sour core in the middle. So as you chew, it just like, oh my God, it just like absolutely wrecks your shit. Oh, it's very tasty, but goddamn. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. You can now have your pitchforks. Okay, so what I am going to say about Half-Life 2 is that it is okay. I don't think it is bad. I think it is okay. I think that it is a very important formative thing of its time. It was very revolutionary when it came out. It really pushed forward narrative storytelling in video games, especially from a first-person perspective. It did a really great job of setting up what you thought was going on and then kind of pulling the rug out from under you. It was very clever in a lot of ways. But I think we can all agree this is not like the pinnacle of storytelling, right? This was very formative. It was very important for its time. This is not a masterpiece. It's got plenty of rough edges, and that's good. That's good, right? It's good to have rough edges. But I have seen this goddamn game put as like one of the top 10 best storytelling games ever. Some lists have it as the top 5, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but this game? No! This is on the same list as Metal Gear. This is on the same list as Mass Effect, the game that famously has tons of branching storylines and pathways for you to explore. This is on the same list as goddamn BioShock. Like, what are we doing here? This game does not deserve to be in the top 10 of, like, any masterpiece story. Like, it is a fine story. It is okay. I do think there are better stories. I do think there are better stories. I know that this was super important for a lot of people when they were first getting into games or first, like, checking out narrative stories, which I think is awesome. But I don't think that this game deserves to be in the top 10. And yet, this is a pretty hot take because anytime that these goddamn lists are made of like the best story narratives in video games, there is a very, very passionate group of people that will like mob whoever it is that's writing that story to be like, why isn't Half-Life 2 on the list? And all I can say is, y'all, it's okay. They're not saying that the game is bad. They're saying that there are other stories that are better, and that's okay. That's fine. If you love Half-Life 2, that's awesome. That's wonderful. But there are other incredible games that you can be playing. Don't harass these poor people trying to put this shit together by being like, how dare you not put Half-Life 2 on that list? There's this one list that I was looking over at one point because I was looking for like some gaming classics that I wanted to go and play. And the authors made a point. They had like a line on the list where they're like, the controversial opinion in this article is that Half-Life 2 was not included. And you're like, oh my god, they got so many angry messages from people complaining about this and they felt like they had to put that in there. That is completely ridiculous. So this is my opinion. I think that Half-Life 2 is perfectly okay, but it's not a masterpiece, and we shouldn't pretend like it's a masterpiece because that is a disservice to all of the incredible games that have come out since then that are really incredible, that care so much about their stories. They do such a good job with everything. Oh god. But yeah, no, it is you know, here's the thing, that is also an interesting point. I think that it is a good thing to not care about what other people say as the top 10 list. But these are like informative opinions on like what the general populace thinks about a game, you know? Like this is an aggregate of like what people have like put forward onto the internet, into the world in some capacity. And there are a very large portion of people that really love Half-Life 2. And I think that is awesome, but I think that we need to acknowledge it's not a masterpiece. We need to move on from this idea that this game is the pinnacle of all games. I have seen that echoed online, and there are other amazing things that you can go and check out. Like, if you loved Half-Life 2, you will love a lot of other games. There's a lot of other really cool things for you to check out. Oh my gosh, you know, that's actually a fair point. The physics engine was pretty cool in this game. I mean, that was a pretty revolutionary thing, right? But I think it's awesome because, like, if you're interested in, like, how this game has inspired a lot of things that came after it, I think it's very worthwhile to go and check out. But, like, if you're used to modern games, it's gonna feel kind of clunky because, like, this is, like, for all intents and purposes, a product of its time, you know? Like, this is something that was very revolutionary and now has been iterated upon, which is super cool. So, yeah, it's a very important game for a very good reason, but... Yeah, you know, that's a very, very good point. Calling it a touchstone is very good. Yes, yes, indeed. Oh, man. But yeah, this is my opinion. I'm sure that you all were ready with your pitchforks for me to be like, this is a bad game that shouldn't exist. But no. I definitely think that this is like a worthwhile thing. And I think it's really cool what it did, not just for like its own game, but gaming in general. But like, can we stop? Can we stop pretending like the story of this game is like the best thing ever? It is like totally serviceable, but there are other games that are much more tightly written, that have much more interesting plot lines, and that is okay. That is fine. It's all right. Okay, see, that wasn't nearly as hot of a take as you all thought it was going to be, so we're doing okay. Oh God, no. Okay. We're 6.5 minutes into this. Okay. All right. I'm terrified to hit the next slide because now I have to have another one. I've screwed myself over. I'm being too concise. God damn it. Okay, here's the thing. As we continue going through these things, I'm going to become considerably less concise. So that'll be fun. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Live action remakes. The reason this is as high up as it is because I have some very strong opinions about this. Okay, the next thing that we're going to be consuming is by the same brand. This is the umeboshi variant. It is even more sour. Even more sour than the last one. Oh God. I feel like I'm gonna be eating a lot of these and that's terrifying. Okay, all right, give me a second. Oh no. Oh, it's taunting me. It's like adorable and pink, but it's going to just wreck my shit. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's so sour. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna have to speed through this one. Oh god. Oh no. Okay, I'm almost done. Okay. I'm through the sourest bit of it. Okay. All right. Let me grab some water real quick. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, my tongue is like... Oh god. Oh god, my tongue. Oh, it's turned into umeboshi. Oh god. That plum flavor. Oh, I really like umeboshi, but not like this. This is like concentrated pain. Oh. This is why I got the water though, just to make sure that I can keep going through these. Okay, let's go. 10 minutes on the clock. Are you all ready? Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, live action remakes are a mistake. They're a goddamn mistake, and I'm going to tell you all why. So some of this might be obvious, but I'm going to break this down in excruciating detail as quickly as I can. So the appeal of the original forms of these properties, I've included The Lion King and Avatar: The Last Airbender as examples. So these original properties were both animated, like fully animated. And the appeal of those is that you can do a lot of really cool things that you wouldn't be able to do with real human or like CG creatures, right? You can do a lot of really awesome stuff. In the case of The Lion King, you can have all of the characters do really cool emotions with their faces that you can't do with real animals, you know? You can have them, like, have their eyes get super big. Their mouths can do crazy shit. They can, like, stretch and squish, like, a lot of these really cool principles of animation. You can do all of that. So you end up empathizing a lot more with those characters, because like you see them emoting, you see them as like interesting or relatable or fun in some capacity. In the case of Avatar: The Last Airbender, something that was really awesome about the original TV show was that you could do tons of awesome bending, right? That would be really difficult to do with CG. But not only that, they got to like lavishly illustrate a bunch of really beautiful places for them to go and visit. All of the places they go on Aang's journey, as they're trying to go and learn bending all over the world. You can do a whole bunch of stuff with that, which is awesome. It's super, super awesome. But I am of the opinion that none of these should be turned into live action. And I feel very strongly about this because I don't care if they do an okay job of like turning them into live action. Like we're doing this because it's a cash grab. That's the only reason this is happening. They are preying upon you. Yes, you that are watching this. They are preying upon your nostalgia because your nostalgia is going to like shave off the rough edges of this, and a film that is like thoroughly mediocre, you will come away being like, you know, that was all right, you know, it's not as good as the animated one, but I still had a fun time. And that's how they get you. They just took your money. They just took your goddamn money. And now you're like, well, maybe I'll go see the next one. Just go watch the damn animated shit. Oh my God. That there is a perception, particularly in the country that I live in. Mercifully, this is not the case in some other parts of the world, but if you live in a place like the United States, where if there is this common misconception that something that is animation is for children, which is very stupid, like a lot of people worked very, very hard, put all of their love and passion into something like, holy shit, okay, talking about something like The Lion King, let's also talk about Beauty and the Beast. Like, holy shit, some of the animation that is in there is genuinely jaw-dropping. The people who are at the top of their craft putting this shit together, it's absolutely amazing. So, like, Why are we doing this? And the answer is because these stupid, callous bastards who are in charge of greenlighting this shit have this opinion that animation equals children, and they keep turning all this shit into live action because they're like, well, all the adults aren't gonna want to go and watch the animation, so let's have them go and watch this shit and we can still cash in on their nostalgia. But the adults are watching the animated stuff, and then the adults are going and checking this shit out because you're baiting them with like, oh, don't you remember loving this? Oh, wouldn't it be super cool to actually see them as real people? And no, it wouldn't. Okay, second reason why live action remakes are a mistake. They miss what worked with the original. It's not just the animation that suffers when you adapt something like this. It's also the storytelling, the pacing, and a lot of the important things that made the original work. In the case of Disney live action remakes like The Lion King or Beauty and the Beast and things like that, they like... They take the beautiful music and the songs and they take it out back behind the shed and then they shoot it in the head. Which is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm not saying that some of the songs aren't fine in the live action remakes. I'm saying they miss why it was so much fun to have them in the original. They like change a bunch of songs. They do like weird versions of them, or they just cut all the songs entirely because they're like, adults don't like musicals. And I'm sorry, but that's just not true. Adults love musicals. What the hell do you think is like... Who do you think we are? We grew up watching this shit and we continue to love it. What are you doing? So, like, that's one axis where they miss the point of the original. In the case of Avatar: The Last Airbender, there have now been two separate Avatar: The Last Airbender real-life person remakes, and they are both bad for different reasons. Okay, so the original bad Avatar: The Last Airbender was a movie. It was an absolute disaster. There was all sorts of problems with it. They like race swapped a bunch of the characters, which was bad. Which was bad. They like, I don't know, like all of the people in the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, they're from particular regions and different tribes and different civilizations that are loosely based on real groups of people, and it is important to like maintain that, you know? But like Sokka and Katara were both like really, really, really pale. You know, the famously like darker skinned characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then they made the Fire Nation have darker skin, and you're like, oh nah. No, that's bad. But it was also stilted and they didn't understand the original source material. They like made really weird changes to it. So that was a travesty. We all acknowledge that was the embarrassing mistake. Okay, there was recently a Netflix version of Avatar: The Last Airbender that was released, and it is just as bad, but for a different reason. And this is important because I have seen people praise the Netflix adaptation, and that makes me so sad, because this is nostalgia talking. You enjoyed the original Avatar, just like I did, but you're letting that smooth over the harsh edges, and you're letting, I don't know, the fact that you haven't done a rewatch recently, like, change your perspective of some characters. Yes, no, there's a Netflix version. The thing you were seeing on screen is from the Netflix version, and I have some very strong opinions about the Netflix version. So the Netflix version is a travesty because it takes all of the characters out behind the shed and shoots them in the head. So what they have done is they have taken every single character, stripped them of all of the important things that made them who they were, and then put them in like a grim, dark setting, because they've decided that for Netflix it needs to be gritty, dark. None of the characters can be having fun. This is a sad property. And listen, so the reason why Avatar: The Last Airbender is such an amazing property is because it did a great job of showcasing a horribly broken world, and children, like children trying to navigate that, make their way through while still getting to be children to some extent. There was a lot of whimsy, there was a lot of fun that they had. They did a great job of mixing jokes with really sad, dark material. Like, in the first couple episodes of the original Avatar, you find out that an entire civilization of people does not exist anymore. Like, the air tribe has been wiped off the planet. It's just Aang. He's the last one. That's why it's Avatar: The Last Airbender. He's it. His entire civilization is completely gone. All of his people have disappeared. All of their temples now lay empty and desolated. And that's horrible. He loses it when he finds out about that. He goes into an uncontrollable rage. All of his avatar powers activate at once. He is going to destroy a bunch of shit. And it is only the friends and the family that he has made in this world that are able to pull him out of that. It's very, oh no, I'm gonna have another one. No! No, I knew it. I was gonna talk for too long. God damn it, no. Okay, 20 seconds. So yeah, it's a very important thing to like balance something heavy like that with all of the whimsy and wonder of getting to see this world and trying to help save it. These children are doing their best to try and help this world, even though they are children. Okay, it's 10 minutes. Okay. Umeboshi, let's go for another one. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, rip 10 minutes indeed. Oh, F's in the chat. No, the umeboshi, it's gonna become my tongue, no. Oh. Oh my god, it's so sour. Okay, give me a second. Okay, sorry. I leaned too far. Hello, Bear is here. Hello. Oh. How goes it, Bear?
I've been watching the stream and I want to open by saying I was right.
Oh my god, that was so sour. Oh, it's the roof of my mouth now. It's not just my tongue. I'm having another drink. You can talk. All of them have enjoyed this idea that you came up with. Oh god, I can't believe I couldn't finish this in 10 minutes.
I want you to remember that you're like, no, I can talk to you about each of these things for like 30 minutes to an hour. This is content, baby. We'll be golden. Here we are, like less than 30 minutes in.
I'm already dying. I know. I'm screwed.
More than half of your topics.
I'm so screwed.
I was actually going to propose an extension.
No.
All I'm saying is when you finish with less than an hour on the clock.
No, because the sourness is getting increased. I'm already dying.
I'm just saying.
You know, I appreciate that. Hey, guess what? I have something even better, you bastard. God damn you. He's over here trying to extend to this, but it will be extended. Tomorrow, we're gonna be doing the bitter shit.
I'm just... Every time you lose a race, you take a hit.
He was proposing an Umeboshi run at the very end. Oh god. Here's the thing. I think the final one of these is going to kill me. I think he's forgotten what he proposed. He's forgotten the very last one, which is going to slay me. Oh god. You know, that's also think you could have given me 40 minutes and I would still be ranting about this. Oh my god. How about hot takes with spicy food after the bitter ones? Here's the thing. This is a format that I think we could very easily continue doing. He has faith in me. He has faith in me to continue to survive after all of this, but alas. Oh god. Okay. All right, I think that's good enough. The roof of my mouth tastes like plum now, but let's hop into this. Let's do it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So, the live action, no, I still have to give you some context. No, okay. So Avatar: Last Airbender, despite all of the harsh things that happened, Aang, our central character, the last airbender, he is 12 when the series starts. And he is a kid. He is a kid. And the whole, thing that he is grappling with is the fact that he was told when he was 12 that he needed to save the world, and he was 12. That's crazy. Avatars usually don't begin their training until they're 16. And he had to start when he was 12, and he was told you have a year to master everything, when normally you have a very long time. So, yeah, he has to, grapple with that responsibility while still, being one of the most fun, enjoyable, hilarious characters in the whole show. He does grow up, he does mature, he does, take on this responsibility, but, yeah. The Fire Nation is supposed to be Japan. The Fire Nation is pretty heavily coded as Japan. Because there was a lot of expansionism that happened with Japan as well during World War II. And a lot of Avatar is based off of Asian and Pacific Island and Inuit culture. So a lot of the nations are based off of real places. And all of them have their flaws, right? The Fire Nation being expansionist and doing all these things is framed as a bad thing, and that they're trying to stop that from happening. So So yeah, so we've got Aang, who's fun-loving, who is trying to do his best to save the world. And then we've got all of his friends who are wonderful. Katara and Sokka both come from the Southern Water Tribe. They were in somewhat of a similar position where all of their waterbenders were summarily executed by the Fire Nation. This was a show that aired on Nickelodeon, by the way. That I watched when it was coming out, and it was the best thing I had ever seen. I still think that it holds up super, super well. It's a goddamn masterpiece. But Katara and Sokka were from the Southern Water Tribe, and Katara is a waterbender. Sokka cannot do any bending at all. And the two of them join Aang to go try and save the world together. Katara ends up being kind of like the guardian figure of everyone. She is technically younger than Sokka, but she's always been like the really responsible one. So she's always making sure that folks are doing well, that they remember important things they have to keep track of, and she's kind of the mom of the group. Sokka starts out as the comedy relief, like even funnier than Aang is. But he really grows and matures and like tries to find his own way to help out the group, which is wonderful. So yeah, no, it's good. It's very, very good. So the Netflix adaptation of this just like butchers all the characters. Butchers all of them. Aang is no longer a fun, happy kid. He is already like, I don't know, he acts like a jaded, like middle-aged person, I guess, who's just like, yeah, no, everything is bad, but I'm gonna have to make it through. Look at those kids frolicking out, enjoying themselves. Oh, what it would be like to be a child. And you're like, you are a child. You're 12. What are we doing? But even worse, they take Katara, one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise, who is a goddamn badass. She taught herself waterbending. She teaches Aang waterbending. She becomes one of the most powerful benders on the planet. She is just such a badass who does so many amazing things while still being such a good person. This beautiful girl, they took her out back and they're like, you don't get to be a powerful bender anymore. Aang is the main character. Aang is the one we care about because guess what? They have decided for this stupid ass remake that Aang is Jesus. They've just decided Aang is Jesus. So that's why he's like a very sullen middle-aged man in the body of a child. He's Jesus. He's always like convincing people to do better for themselves. He's telling like, I don't know, he like single-handedly like and just tells Katara what her life is. He's like, yeah, no, you just be like hang out in the background and it's fine. She's just constantly like mouth agape like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Wow, that's amazing. You're so cool, Aang. Oh my God, she's useless. Oh my God, it's crazy. Yes, they did. They put that bender into the blender and then they're like, look, this is our Jesus now. He's bending Jesus. And you're like, what is going on? Oh my God. Like, Aang ends up having this conversation with goddamn Iroh, one of my other favorite characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the former general of the Fire Nation who is conflicted about everything that they're doing, is trying to like grapple with the sense of obligation of being born into a royal family of the Fire Nation, trying to help his nephew who is grappling with the same thing, coming to the realization that a lot of his actions and failures may have led to the death of his own son. Like, Iroh is an incredible character who has such a wonderful character arc, coming out better on the other side, using all of his goddamn military prowess to help out when it's needed most. He's amazing. Well, no, he's also just useless. Aang has this conversation with him where Aang's like, have you ever thought about not being evil? And Iroh's like, wow, yeah, I guess I never thought about not being evil. Thank you, bending Jesus. It just, everything is like that. Like, Aang in the Netflix version of the show just shows up everywhere and is just like, have you ever thought about not being a dick? And then they're like, wow, I never thought about that. And they also like massively trivialize the extinction of his people, which is really awful. They just make it so he's kind of already accepted it. He doesn't get like super upset about it. He's just like, wow, everyone I ever knew and loved is gone. And you're like, your people are gone. All of your people are gone. There was this great arc in the original where they go to, I think it's the Northern Air Temple, and they find that there's people that are living there, and it's a bunch of refugees from the Earth Nation. They have fled from the Fire Nation and are staying at the Northern Air Temple, and at first Aang is really mad about this, because this was a place of his people, and now there are, from his perspective, squatters that are living here. They don't understand the history or anything, but all of the people, how could they? They have appeared in this place that was empty and have now taken it up, and it's a really cool episode because they explore the idea of continuing on the legacy of the airbenders, but in a different new fashion. These people also want to take to the skies. They also want to learn about the airbenders. Aang is able to work with them to do so. And it's a really fascinating, bittersweet idea of like, this culture is gone, but we can still hold on to the history of it and try to pass along the lessons, the important people, all of the important messages from it. But yes, no, oh my gosh, I completely agree. Yes. The original series was so good that, oh my God, I couldn't have said it better myself. Why would you try to remake something that was perfect to begin with, is my conclusion for all of these live action remakes. Whether it is a movie, a TV show, anything like this, why fix something that isn't broken? There is no reason to turn these things into live action versions. That is completely ridiculous. Okay, I think I've managed to do it. I managed to get through this. Oh no. Okay, so, all right, this next one is kind of related to this section. So we're gonna prepare for that. I'm so terrified to open up this package. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna stop the timer. We're gonna go move to the next one. Okay. 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 Again, hold your pitchforks, please. Prepare yourself. I have things that you'll probably agree with me with, but I do think some people will not like this take. But I hope I expressed how much I love this property. Okay. I'm gonna move to the next section and have our next sour. Okay. This next thing we're having are warheads. This is going to absolutely mess me up. Where is the pitchfork the pitchfork emote? Oh god, just look at this awful thing. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh my god, it's so sour! Oh no! This is the outside, I haven't even gotten to the middle! No! Why does it fizz like that in the middle? Oh, it's so gross. Oh, what's wrong with them? Why would they do this? Okay. Water, 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 water. Water, 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 water. Okay. Oh, I need more water, sorry. Oh my god. Okay. Legend of Korra. Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so I am going to have something which is probably one of the hottest takes that I have had. I think that Legend of Korra should not exist at all. I don't think it should exist. For the same reason the live action remakes shouldn't exist. Don't fix a thing that isn't broke. The original was a masterpiece, but like, I don't actually know how you go from Avatar to anything else. Like, at the end of Avatar, that's it, y'all. Like, I know that, like, at the end, I guess, spoilers for the end of Avatar, but, like, they defeat the Fire Nation, you know? Like, they defeat the Fire Nation, but, like, that's not the end. Like, an entire civilization of people is extinct. There are tons of people who have had their homes and their land occupied by the Fire Nation. Most of the Southern Water Tribe is also extinct. Like, you are going to need, I don't even know how many hundreds of years to recover from something like that. Like, we are still recovering, like, as a people in this world that we live in from, like, the extinctions of a lot of groups of people. And, like, there is just, that's really, I don't know how or why you would want to write something after that, because it's just an amount of complicated geopolitics that I don't think you want to get into, you know? And I think, so when Korra was first announced, I was shocked. I was like, how? How could you possibly pick up where Avatar left off? Like, I was there at the beginning. I was there when the Fire Nation attacked. Y'all, I was there when the original Avatar aired on television, I was the same age as the characters when I was watching it. Like, that is how much this series is in my lifeblood. And when I was in college, when The Legend of Korra came out, I watched it live. There was a group of friends. We gathered together and we would watch The Legend of Korra because all of us were like, what on earth could this possibly be? And so here's what Korra is. It takes place not several hundred years after the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender, 70 years after the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is a steampunk world now, where people are out here using metal bending all over the place, which is sort of reasonable in some ways because metal bending, it was innovative and new, but it's a reasonable enough thing to actually teach people. But then you have people working in factories using lightning bending. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Lightning bending was the apex of firebending, something that only the most prodigious people could accomplish. The characters in the original series that could do lightning bending weren't doing it because they just knew how to do the technique. It was an extremely dangerous thing to do. Oh my god, the fact that Azula was doing it was terrifying because she was a terrifying person with terrifying goals, and she was putting her life on the line every single time that she did it because that's who she was. That's what she did. And then you just have all these people in a factory, just casually doing lightning bending just the way that... just the way that all the firebenders do, and you're absolutely not. Oh my god, that is crazy. Zuko almost died multiple times because of lightning bending. What are we doing? So that's level 1, is that the amount of technological progress that has happened in 70 years is ludicrous. It doesn't make sense in the context of the original series. Level number 2, all of the characters are if Zuko, season 1 Zuko, it just never had a season 3 arc. All of the characters are so, oh my god, they're just really angry and upset all the time. They're just having a bad time, and the comedy relief that we get is just a poor man's Sokka. I'm sorry, but you had magic in the original, but then you're over here being yeah, no, everyone is gonna be really moody and a teenager, and you're but there were teenagers in the original and they were believable people. What are we doing here? So this is a level 2, where I think that the authors are much more comfortable writing comedy characters in a dark world. I think they're much more comfortable writing characters who are able to turn a bad situation into a good one. I do not think that they are able to successfully take very sad characters and make a sad world out of it. It just doesn't work. I just don't find any of the characters of Legend of Korra nearly as compelling. And even by the time you get to season 3, where shit finally starts happening, and there starts being some amount of plot that I actually cared about, you still have the problem of the first 2 seasons, and you have the problem of the second 2 seasons, where you're what was the point of any of this? There are so many things that happen in Korra that break with the original, that it's... My actual hot take for Korra is that it reads like bad fan fiction. The authors just made bad fan fiction of their own work. Then, even though there's moments where Korra comes together and, actually is a character, it's too late. It's too little too late. I can't see this as anything other than bad fan fiction. And that makes me really sad, because the ending of Korra is applauded by a bunch of people because they're like, well, Korra and Asami, like, they're like an item now. They're gay for each other, so that's awesome. Korra is a bisexual icon, and I am a bisexual lady. In case you didn't know, I am bi. I swing both ways. I swing all the ways. I'm bisexual / pansexual, and I feel like I have the ground to say that, like, that's some weak sauce. That's some weak ass shit. Holy shit. They're like, oh yeah, the two of them kind of start talking more and then they hold hands. But like, nah, that's some weak shit. I know I am. Who could have guessed all those times that I was drooling over both sides of the aisle? Who could have known that I was bi? But like, this is some weak shit. Like, and I've seen a lot of, like, folks applaud the ending of this as, like, a step forward in the animation industry. Like, an embracing of the queer community. And it inspired so many incredible things, such as Steven Universe. And oh my god, that one, just makes me roll my eyes. So, Steven Universe is, like, the queer show. It's like the queer show. There's definitely some things with it that aren't like perfect, but like, hey, do you know when Steven Universe came out? Years before the end of The Legend of Korra. Like, Steven Universe was its own independent thing. Do not credit The Legend of Korra with inspiring Steven Universe. It was already gay before that. More gay than Korra could ever hope to be. So this is my opinion, is that The Legend of Korra, it feels like bad fan fiction that should never have existed in the first place. You had a perfect thing going with the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, and like there was no need to continue the story, and how they did continue it was just, oh no, I'm gonna run out of time and I'm gonna have to keep going, no! Because I have more things to talk about with The Legend of Korra. The reason that I especially feel like it reads like bad fan fiction is how they skewered my boy, how they skewered my girl, how they skewered so many of them. Oh my god, it's so sad. It's so damn sad. So all of the awesome things that I had to say about the characters that existed in Avatar: The Last Airbender, well, in this show, they take them out behind the barn and they shoot them in the head. They shoot them in the head, and now I'm gonna get shot. No. Okay. I know it's time for another warhead. Not another warhead. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let's go. Let's go do this. I knew I was gonna talk for too long about Avatar. Oh my god, why? Oh, it's so sour, no! Oh. Oh, the fizz inside is so gross. I hate it. Oh, it's so bad. Okay. I'm almost done, sorry. Okay, water time. Survive for us, Yumie. We have to hear more. Okay, good. Okay, give me a second. For the record, warheads goddamn suck. That stupid fizz on the inside is so gross. Oh my god. What's wrong with them? Why would they do that? Oh, terrible. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, next 10 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So, they skewered all of the main characters from the original series. This is like one of the most inexcusable things that they could have done. Instead of just having all of these new characters living in the legacy of like these incredible people of the past, no, they decided they were gonna go and try to ruin all of them too. So Aang, the wonderful Aang, super empathetic, very kind, very understanding Aang, ends up being like a really shitty dad who's like really bossy to his kids. One of his kids is born as an airbender, and like he like treats that child as his favorite child. And I'm not saying that people can't have flaws, but it's just ludicrous the degree to which he like just disregards his other children who are also very talented people, and it's just very, very stupid. They also couldn't live with the fact that all the airbenders were gone, and so like partway through The Legend of Korra, there's like a spirit world eruption into the real world, and a bunch of airbenders are born again or something, and it's really stupid. Like, it is important to acknowledge that sometimes things have to stay lost. Like, it is horrible and tragic and inexcusable that the airbenders were all wiped out, but like this just feels pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic just to be like, well, the spirit world, you know, they just wibbledy wobbledy and now there's a bunch of airbenders again, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? That entire season is so dumb. I think we can all agree that that season was really, really dumb. The whole like dark versus light energy or whatever, like good versus evil, was really stupid with the whole spirit world shit. I always loved the spirit world. I thought it was a really cool idea, but it was not something they needed to expand upon to this extent. So, okay, Aang is already, bam, shot in the head. Katara is just like relatively useless in The Legend of Korra, and that makes me so sad. She's just been relegated to like grandma that's just kind of around. Weak is what that is. Shot in the head. Toph! Oh my god! One of my favorite characters from the original. You're just gonna hear me say this about everyone. One of my favorite characters from the original. Absolute badass who is blind but is able to see using earthbending. One of the greatest earthbenders of all time. One of the biggest badasses. A small girl who kicks the shit out of people twice, 3, 4 times her size. Who is a harsh but very reasonable teacher. She is a deadbeat mom in The Legend of Korra. She's a deadbeat mom. So goddamn sad. I was devastated that they would do that to her. She's just like not around for her kids, and her kids are all just messed up because of it, and they hate her guts, and they're just like an absolute disaster. Zatsutabi, yes! Disappointing slop, I agree! Thank you all for that, by the way. It is very important to recognize the disappointing slop. It is ridiculous. So that is just inexcusable, insufferable. And Zuko, my boy! So Zuko was less ruined by The Legend of Korra than he was by the manga, which I did read, and I was angry about, as are many people. For all of the people who have tried to salvage The Legend of Korra, no one is defending the manga. They made a manga afterwards, which is supposed to be like a between Avatar and Korra, and it is just as bad as you would imagine it to be. The manga is terrible. It like takes Zuko and then it makes him become like his dad. It makes him become like Fire Lord Ozai. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And like, oh my god, his romantic relationship falls apart. One of the best things that came out of the show was, oh my god, that was such a shining light. Holy shit. Just being together with one of the biggest badasses from the entire series. But the manga just like absolutely slaughtered it. I think they just didn't know what to do with him. They were just like, well, we gotta make him have a problem, and I guess all of the things that we did in the rest of the series will just fall apart. So like, this is what I'm saying. annoying. They should have just left well enough alone. Just leave the original series as it is. There's no reason to take these characters, drag them out, and publicly hang them. Like, what are we doing? That's so sad. That's so unbelievably sad. So, yeah, no, it's, yes, the manga's so bad that this is the first that I'm hearing about it. Yes! The manga was terrible. It was so bad. Oh my god, it was terrible. Oh yes, that is such a good conclusion. Yes, if only for the Legend of Korra, they could have made this into around 20 episodes. Take their time looking into the characters themselves and actually come up with a better ending. It could have been anime of the year, but alas, it was not. It was terrible fan fiction from the start, and I'm so sad that it got so many seasons, and I'm so sad that it continues to exist. So I guess the takeaway from this section is that, like, don't fix things that aren't broken. Stop doing these live action remakes of shit. Stop doing needless sequels that don't need to exist, don't make sense to exist. Break things of your original characters. This is my solace, though, is whenever I think of Korra, I'm just like, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It breaks so many of the characters. I just refuse. I just refuse. It's totally fine. So, yeah, The Legend of Korra, that's my sour take, is that I think it's bad fan fiction that should not exist. Okay, I managed to make it through that, but that means we're on to our last one. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh my god, that's true! Korra did whip out the Avatar state only to get just absolutely wrecked. Holy shit. Yeah, that's the thing. Season 3 of Korra is the only one that is any good. I think we can all agree. And even then, I don't think it, like, deserves to, like, be a thing. Like, I think it's fine. There's, like, intrigue and tense fights and, like, interesting character development, but it's too little too late. And also, the groundwork it was built upon is very sad. It's very sad. Okay. I think it's time. I'm so sad. This is the last one. I have to have the worst one. No! Okay. My hottest take. Give me a second. I'm pulling out. I'm gonna have to spit this one out. There's no way I'm gonna be able to eat this. This tastes so bad. But that means I have to get through this in 10 minutes. I have to do this as fast as possible. I have to do this as fast as possible. Yeah, I appreciate Bear for believing in me to keep going with this, but just come and hang out for the bitter one, and then we'll do some more of these in the future where I can have hot takes, where I have spicy shit, and I can have other types of takes. Hey, if you're watching this, leave a comment on the video about what other takes you want to see me do, because I think this would be a great way for me to get through my backlog of all of the things I need to rant about. Yeah, no, this is toxic waste. I have had this once and they're horrible. But yeah, Bear and I talked about this at the beginning and we're like, yes, now I can spit this out. Oh, it's an unsightly color. It's like this horrible green. It's so bad. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, it's in the trash. It's in the trash. Oh my god. Oh my god, my tongue. Oh my god, my tongue. Give me a second. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, it tastes so bad. Give me a second. Water. I can't do another one of those. I can't do another one. I gotta get through this in 10 minutes. Oh, Bear has joined us. Oh my god, are you gonna join in on the sour takes for this one?
I figured since it's the last one, I should show up and take my lump.
Yeah, here you go. Here's a goddamn toxic waste.
I'll have you know that I've eaten like a whole container of these out of like just casual, and this is not It's sour, but I want to know. I want the audience at home to realize I've consumed this to confirm it's safe, and also this is like scaled down from my initial pitch. I do have food grade acid sitting in my cupboard.
Oh yeah, no, we tested. I think you tested that. And we were like, nah, just the toxic waste is already going to be too much. That is, all of my other senses are broken, but my sense of taste and smell work very well. So this is, oh, my tongue is like almost numb. Oh my God. Have you consumed it? All right. Okay, so this is going to be a double take. This is a Bear and Yumie talking about Chained Echoes and Sea of Stars. Timer, 10 minutes. It begins now. We're talking fast. I'm going to go first, and then you can talk. Let's go.
So I can interrupt you to, like, buy time?
This is cruelty. This is cruelty. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so several years ago, there was a very beautiful pixel art game that came out. It was a turn-based RPG that was innovative. It had an amazing story. The characters were incredible. They were so compelling. You could play this game for hundreds of hours and still only scratch the surface of what there was to play. And that game was Chained Echoes. But almost no one knows that because goddamn Sea of Stars also came out around that time and stole the spotlight. And I have some beef. I got some beef. I got some things to talk about with Sea of Stars. I think that all of us should be talking about Chained Echoes because Chained Echoes is one of the best turn-based story adventures that I have played in a long time. And yet Sea of Stars is all that anyone wants to talk about. And that is ridiculous for several reasons. Sea of Stars is also a turn-based game. It has also got pixel art, which is very beautiful. Objectively, it's very beautiful, but the story leaves a lot to be desired. The characters are not even close to as complex as they are in Chained Echoes, to the point that there are several characters that are put in harm's way, and I just did not care. I did not care. There are characters in Chained Echoes that I watched go through some of the most harrowing shit, and I cried. Sea of Stars is out here trying to pull the same shit, and I just can't do it. But even more insultingly, the reason we're truly gathered here today to talk about this and why this is such a hot take is I think that the fundamental gameplay of Sea of Stars is untenable. I think that it soured me on the entire game. The Sea of Stars fundamental combat is so bad that I hate played it. I hate played this game because it is turn-based in theory. Really, it's a rhythm game that you are forced to play, where the rules of the rhythm game change rapidly from one battle to the next. You will be thrown into a battle. All of the enemies will spread out in a circle around you. They'll all have a bunch of symbols that show up over their heads, and you're supposed to hit the enemies with attacks that match their symbols, but you often have to do it in a particular rhythm, otherwise it won't happen. And if those enemies ever get to take their turn, they will just punch your shit in, which is insane. One of the moves that we had to use when we played this was called Moonerang.
Oh, God.
The Moonerang! It was this ability that the Moon character had, and it was where she would toss out this boomerang that was made of moon juice, and you would have to time hitting the, attack button to bounce it between you and the enemies, and every time it hit either you or the enemy, it would speed up. So you'd have to perfectly time boom, 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 as fast as you could, but while still going with the rhythm of the thing. Because if you failed to do that, a lot of these moon enemies would get to take their turn and then just punch your shit in. It was the same thing with a bunch of other abilities too. There was this assassin character that would chuck knives that you had to do in a rhythm, which was so frustrating. Every time she would jump up, you'd have to hit the button, and then you'd have to hit it faster and faster and faster, which is so frustrating. The UI of this game has historically been a disaster. As if it wasn't already hard enough to do the rhythm bit, sometimes you would select what you thought was the right enemy, but it didn't tell you that it was the right enemy. Because no, they don't have like a little indicator over each of the enemies. They just have the symbols, right? And if a bunch of enemies are all clumped together, you sometimes don't know which of them you're hitting. It's just a bunch of nonsense symbols above their goddamn heads. So you're just hitting the moonerang button and you're like, please God, it's gonna hit all of them at some point, but I gotta make sure that I hit this at least 3 times on the one that has the 3 moon symbols, or I'm just dead. I'm just dead. My poor arm would just be like sore after playing this stupid game because of having to do this shit.
So for context, it sounds a lot like what we're describing is playing Rock Band while playing an RPG. And that is a genre. I don't think it's fair to criticize the game because it's not necessarily our cup of tea. I am fine with the Rock Band mechanics in RPGs when it serves a point. There's a few issues. One, Moonerang and et al. Were so omnipresent. Literally every fight was spamming this. But the other was, what if you were playing Rock Band, wherein like 10 to 30% of the time, the strike zone where you're supposed to hit the notes is actually invisible. And also the notes randomly change tracks depending on which time you pressed, which song you decided to play.
Which is, oh my God. I do want to say, you all are correct. We have bailed on many a game that we have hated, but this was a matter of principle because a lot of people were saying that they didn't even bother checking out Chained Echoes because Sea of Stars came out. And so we're like, okay, well, we got to see the game now. We've checked out Chained Echoes. We got to see Sea of Stars. And yeah, at a certain point, we were just spitefully trying to finish the damn game because it was so goddamn frustrating to play. I will say, I do know that the combat in Chained Echoes can be a little complicated. It is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. That is totally fine. If you bounce off of Chained Echoes because you don't want to do like a lot of grindy numbers and like figuring out optimal combat rotations or like figuring out like how you can pair different skills, that's totally fine. But Bear and I are the kind of people that adore shit like that. So like
pushing our glasses up. Yeah.
Listen, it's really fun. You like the assassin character in Chained Echoes, you just put a bunch of crit on her and like a bunch of crazy things happen. Everyone explodes. It's so much fun. So yeah, it's like definitely a more like grindy, having to like pay a lot of attention to how you're building your character's game, but it's really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Whereas Sea of Stars made me very frustrated because it is grindy in the other way. Where you have to get super good at doing these goddamn combos, playing this horrible rhythm game where everything is invisible, where you can't, it was just no good. I also did not care for the story, but I know a bunch of people did like it. I'm not going to slight anyone for doing that, but I think the combat
when certain characters died. Like,
yeah, no, we did not care for some of the characters, and that probably, I don't know. Maybe that's too hot of a take, but the combat is my biggest beef with this game because it was applauded for it, and I don't know what was happening. It's one of those things where I went onto forums after the fact, and we were checking through all of the like people who had played the game and liked it, and even people who had liked the game were like, yeah, no, I died a lot. The combat was kind of confusing, and sometimes I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going because oh my God, the UI was also a mess. Oh my God, the map half the time just like wouldn't tell you where you needed to go. There was no quest log at least when we were playing it, there was no quest log. So like you had to remember what you were doing at all times in order to proceed forward. There was also actually a huge reason of why we continued playing it the way we did, because if we stopped playing it for too long, we would forget what we had to do. And the game never reminds you, so you're just like, what am I doing? Where am I going? There was no fast travel for a really long time. You had to awkwardly make your way through the same zones over and over again. This game frustrates me. I see it like sitting on my desktop sometimes and I just narrow my eyes looking at this game, remembering the pain that I went through trying to understand why it was lauded as this incredible thing. And the only thing I can think is like, I wish more people had sunk the time into Chained Echoes. I know that it's more complicated than Sea of Stars, but it is so much more worth your time and energy. Oh, that's my pitch. Go check out Chained Echoes. See if it's your thing.
Are you sure you don't have 30 more seconds of thought?
No, I actually got through this one pretty quickly. If you want, you can add anything else. I think
the game is very German. Like, it's very...
Oh, yeah, Chained Echoes, he means. Yes, Chained Echoes.
Chained Echoes is very German, and I found the perspective refreshing. It felt like a plot that was very culturally influenced, and a take that I haven't seen the most of, and it was nice to have a different flavor of narrative in the game.
Yeah.
I think the combat puzzle is interesting, but like I am also a Eurogame monster, so like take everything I say with like an Excel spreadsheet worth of salt.
It's good salt though, like for real. Like I would highly recommend Chained Echoes. I think it is it just like really well thought out and put together. The world building they do is really fantastic. And I don't know, we had a ton of fun playing the combat. There's a couple of really good guides online that are super straightforward. Like you could spend like 10 minutes reading a guide and know how to do the combat in this game. So I don't think it's like too unapproachable, but if some things are confusing, definitely go look up a guide. You'll be able to do it from there.
One more note is that part of the reason that we compare these is that they were both kind of praised for their sprite work. And I don't think it's really a comparison. Chained Echoes kind of blows Sea of Stars out of the water.
Yeah, yeah.
Both the animations and the fascinating variety and creativity in enemy design is orders of magnitude more interesting than anything of Sea of Stars.
God damn, look at you. Oh, you're selling the game better than I could have ever done.
I mean, that's why you invite my autistic ass to these things. You can say the numbers have the good shapes, and that...
Listen, we're autistic in different ways. It's all good, man. Oh, God. Yeah, this is our hottest take because Sea of Stars has a very big audience that loves it a lot. But I do think that more people should go and check out Chained Echoes because I think it's very good. I guess this did technically pass 10 minutes. I guess for the road, each of us will have one more.
Oh, yeah. So, do you have something besides the green apple?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Wait, they have different types?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, same for the warheads. There's different flavors.
Weird.
It's not just a bucket of one.
All right, here. You can look through and find stuff. I want to have... Can I have a different one?
Sure. Grab one of those lemon warheads.
No, that was the first one that I grabbed.
Oh, you got the lemon?
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah, no.
It was so bad. The lemon one hurt. Oh my God.
It cooks the inside of your mouth. Like you can feel yourself being baked.
No, I'm gonna have one of these, like the level 2 ones, because those ones taste really good. Okay.
Well, I'm on to the lemon toxic waste.
Oh.
So I guess. Oh, these are quite salty.
Yeah, I know, right?
We cut a few things from this list to keep it condensed. There was one, I think Arno makes like the world's sourest candies. Those were just salt. Like there was technically acid in there, but like you couldn't finish it because you felt like you were gonna die of dehydration.
Yep.
But in the spirit of promotion,
oh man, that one is sour.
in the spirit of promotion, tomorrow is the Bitter Takes, which will feature a series of black licorices that I've selected. I would be fascinated to see if, particularly some of the Europeans, knew half of this shit, or if this is just so old man that it's uniquely in my area of interest.
Yeah, this one is going to be even crazier than this current one. This one is completely 100% anime. So, all the anime that has made me the most bitter. It's going to be really hard to keep it to 10 minutes for each of them. Oh, man. Well, thank you for this idea, Bear. I think they all loved it. I managed to actually make it through all of the shit. Do you have any final thoughts before I have to go and just chug a bunch of water?
Come to the member stream. I think that'll be a spicier content, and I am personally more interested. So Yumie has not really tried any of the licorices coming up, and does not really comprehend the violence that awaits her.
Yeah, no, I'm terrified.
I am personally excited to witness all of this, and I want to thank you all for this opportunity.
Yes, no, I really hate black licorice. Like, a lot. And so Bear has gone and found a bunch of stuff that will really be the perfect incentive to get through a bunch of this shit. I'm glad that you all enjoyed this. Oh my god. Thank you, Bear, for the wonderful idea. And yeah, for real, if y'all want to see more of this shit, please do leave comments on it. It helps to give us some ideas for fun stuff to do, and more opportunities for me to talk about a bunch of stuff. Alrighty, folks, thank you all so much for hanging out for this. Oh god, I'm gonna go chug a ton of water. They're thanking you for bullying the snack. God damn it. Oh my god. All right, folks. Until next time, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you all very soon. It's Yumie. Oh my god, that shit was so sour. My mouth is just... It's like plum plus the toxic waste. Thank you all so much for joining us. I look forward to more of this silly shit soon. And, yeah. Bye for now.
Bye.